Hey guys, my name is Anthony Ledesma. You guys can call me Anthony or Tony. I respond to both. Um, so it's whichever you guys would like to say. If you think Anthony's too long, you can call me Tony or whichever you like. My parents, my mom is from Mexico, from a town called Michoacan, and my dad is from Texas, from Fresno. But they are both Latinos, um, because my dad, his mom was also from Mexico, so he was raised as a Latino. Um, so that makes me a Latino. Um, I'm taking this class because I needed a diversity credit for my major, and this class just stood out to me because I thought it sounded pretty interesting to me. Um, I think it's really nice to learn about other cultures and their perspectives on different things. So I thought this class would help me dive into that and explore different ways of thinking. Um, my race, I would consider myself a Latino. Um, and the way I know that, I would say, is based on the culture I was raised around. So, mostly, when I think about it, the first thing that comes to mind is the food we eat, the music we listen to, the music we play. Um, they're all from like the Mexican culture. So my mom would, when I was growing up, she would play music that she heard over when she was a kid in Mexico, and so that carried over to me, and that culture, I grabbed onto it because I was exposed to it since I was a kid. So I would consider myself a Latino. Um, when I first learned about my race, I I don't know if I can pinpoint an exact time because I've considered myself Latino ever since I could remember. So I don't think there's an exact way for me to say I learned it on a certain day or a certain year. It's just I kind of grew up knowing that I was a Latino. And when I first learned about other races, I would say is in elementary school, maybe kindergarten. I was exposed to kids of different races and different cultures. um, and they some of them look different than me, and some of them um, they celebrated things a different way than I did. So me being a Latino, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, and so other kids would celebrate it on the 25th. They wouldn't celebrate Christmas at all. So that was probably the first thing that I learned about different races and different cultures. Um, and if I was to say there was anything unique with my race, I would say we are able to be very family oriented. I know other races are too, but I feel like I've always felt like my family is like very family oriented. And when I say family, I don't mean specifically blood because I have some friends that I've had since I was like 5 and I consider them my brothers. So I would consider them my family, and I took them in as my own family. I love them and I treat them just like I would a real brother. And I feel like that is a big part of that is that we were all raised Latino and we were very into like our family and celebrating with our family and being together. So that's what I like about it. Um, and people don't. I've never experienced people really expecting anything of me because I was a Latino, except maybe like that I can cook, which I can't. I'm very terrible at cooking, but people always hear about the great Mexican food that we make and everything, but I for sure can't cook. That's the only thing that I can think of that people expect of me. So, yeah, don't expect me to cook. Um I've never been discriminated against because of my race, but my family has told me that back when they first came to the US, there was a lot of discrimination towards them, and they've told me stories, and it's a lot of the stuff that you hear on TV today is being discriminated by public officials or people like police. Um, but nothing recently has really happened uh, regarding discrimination, and nothing to me, but I've heard experiences about that. And I've never gotten a pass because of my race. Um, I'm interested to hear what that's like. but I have never gotten a pass because of being Latino. Um, but yeah, I would like to hear your guys' stories on that. That seems kind of interesting. The best thing about being my race, I would say just just the culture, the whole Latino culture. I really like. Like as I said before, because it's very family oriented. I like that there's people that I can rely on and people that could rely on me, and just the way that my family talks to each other is very different from other cultures, other families talking to each other. Like they use words like mijo or mija or stuff like that, like really endearing words that I don't really get from other cultures. But I'm sure they have their own words like that. But I really like that about my race. Um, I don't really think there's anything I could say is the worst about being my race, or that I have any regrets. Um, Maybe I think I'd wish that my family didn't get discriminated against solely because of their race, because of course that isn't right. But I think that would be the one thing that I would take back about that. But it's nothing regarding me personally or that I regret about being Mexican. It's just something I wish could be fixed. But I believe that was all the questions. So thank you for listening to my video. I'm very excited to hear about you guys. Um, I'll respond to your comments if you have any questions. So I'll see you in the discussion board.